Hello and welcome to day 5 of the motorhome rebuild. Now if you saw day 4 you may have noticed that the light was slightly different because day 4 was in fact 2 half days, so that's why it seemed a little bit brighter in the second part than it did in the first. Let's have a look at what we've been doing. Well, we've been going shopping, for example, and we've got some more insulating materials such as this here, extruded polystyrene foam underlay, and we've got this to keep it warmer. I'll just say a few words about this, which is, now if this is a harder insulating material, it's not so good as the blue stuff. The blue stuff which is in granules, but this is going to be used in the supporting wall. So that is why we're using this stuff rather than the blue granulated one. Now most of the work we've been doing has been in the garage. Now I've been asked, why did we bother to do the garage? There's a couple of things. Well, first thing people have said to me is, well, you could have just sold it. First of all, I think it's immoral to sell something which is, that you know is not right. The second thing is, okay, we wanted to reinforce it because it could have been saved, and we could have just tried to put some of this strengthening stuff on it, but I don't think that would have been right to preserve the wood and all the rest of it. I thought the best thing to do, take the whole thing out. We're doing a major job here, so there was a little bit of a problem. Let's get rid of the problem by completely replacing the garage floor. And let's have a look at what's happened in here. We have now put in we've got some metal, some aluminium profiles. The profiles have been placed down here, as you can see. We've got the floor, you may have seen from yesterday's film, has actually gone in, but it's come out again. The floor is over here on the left. There's the floor. There's another bit to it, and there's going to be, we're going to make a sandwich with insulation between the two. So, a huge amount of work obviously went into this. But I think it's been a really good job. Now, most garages say they can take 150 kilos in weight. There's some Hymer models and Cartago models that take 350 kilos of weight. We don't quite know how much this can take, but it's going to be well over 150 by the time we're finished. Not that I would put 150 in anyway. For example, if I go in to get the bike out, well, and some boxes or something, well, maybe it's 100 kilos in at that present moment of time. And let's have a come round here as well and have a look at the back. Now, the back was cut away. We had water ingress down here. So, we could have just cut a smaller bit away, but that, as it happened, was an easier construction for us to do. And as you can see, this was out, and it's gone back in again. So that's where things stand. A brand new garage floor, and this is something I think many of you could start looking at in your own vans. See if there has been water ingress. Certainly in the case of the water ingress inside, I had no knowledge of it, because the way where it actually went was an area which was hidden. So I think certainly when it's off the road, have a look at your van inside. You know, if it happens in other places, you can feel the floor's soft or something else, okay, then you know you've got a problem. In my case, the problem was actually hidden. So that's one thing to think about. Now, we weren't expecting to have to do this garage, but in a way, I'm glad we did, because we've learnt things and we know that we can do it. So I'm glad on that front. Okay, now I'm going to show you what's being done on today, day 5. So as can be seen, the new floor has now been siliconed in, and it can take at least Alex's weight, who was in here earlier. have seen the film I did on black mould, and this is the bed, cold garage, warm bedroom, and this could be the result. We hope we found a solution, and this is not just my van, because I know it happens to lots of people. If the solution works, we'll let you know about it. If it doesn't work, we'll let you know about it. But in any case, we're going to follow this one through with regular inspections, which will be published on this site. One little problem, of course, is that you have to wait for it. It's now August and it's pretty hot outside, so we won't be really getting any feedback for nearly another 6 months. Laid down the insulation in here, as you can see, and what we're now about to do is to put in the heating panels. The heating panels will cover the floor almost completely, including the places where the furniture will go. One thing I want to point out is over here we've got the shower, and under the shower there is this double floor setup. What we're going to do is we're going to put the panels under here as well. We're going to put a sort of a screen here, which will allow the heat to come out into this part of the room, as well as heating up the underside of the shower unit. Another thing we're going to do, and this is very curious as well, you could do this at home if you so wanted, we're going to put a panel on the wall, so it'll act as a radiator. And let's hope that that works and keeps me warm, but if it doesn't, we've still got the ceiling. So as you can see, we've laid down the heating panels in the camper van, and so two important things. First of all, in the corner over here, this is where the water tank is, and the panels are going to be below the water tank. This will stop the water tank freezing. I have had it in the past, it has happened to me. This van does not have the safety feature, for example, that you see built into Truma designed products which are done these days, whereby the water is dumped to protect the boiler. That doesn't happen in this van, and the water has frozen. Well, it won't freeze anymore. This will not heat it up like a boiler, of course. The whole point of this is just to keep it warm. So the maximum temperature will be around 20 degrees. So it should be okay. It's also going to be under, if we look over here, this is where the sink is, where I keep my food, the fridge is. Obviously we don't want to start heating up the fridge, but the whole thing will have the insulation, and we're going to raise the fridge up a little bit as well, so that will have more heat ducts will be coming into the habitation area of the motorhome. In this corner here we're going to have a cabinet, so that doesn't really need heating that much. I really hope that this will work. We don't know. It works in theory because we've done tests. In theory it works, but in practice will it work? That we don't know yet. Remember that this is all 230 volts. It's not coming off a 12 volt system. So let's hope it works. It's something, as far as I'm aware, that no one else has tried like this before. Are we the first, or are we the silliest? We'll find out later. So the next task is to connect all these copper bits, which you can see here. This is actually produced by Printed Electronics, and once we've connected the copper all together, special glue here, manufactured by Heat Decor, and we're going to then glue the panels down, and then we take it further from there.